I've had encounters with the police like 3 or 4 times in the last literal like 2 weeks. It's
It's actually
Thames Valley Police. Every time I've worked with them, both personally and professionally, they've been exceptionally terrible.
I then get a call from you, basically so panicked, and I thought to myself, hold on, what just happened? Because I just left you to just follow her. That same night, I had a look at because obviously we've got on the Ring doorbells inside and everything, the interior. We had a look at it, and we see in the living room this guy was kicking up his partner. So you called 999, told them about the situation. Did they turn up?
No, they never turned up, mate.
Welcome to the Property Project podcast, where we talk all things property, but also help you to resolve some of the dilemmas that you come up with.
But before you do that, we'd love if you could help us by liking the video, subscribing to our channel so you could get more content from us.
No one actually talks about the chaos that comes with running HMOs. No one actually talks about how much of a struggle it can be. How much time it can be. It can take or it can take away from the business. You know, the types of people that you might be renting out to, the incidents that can happen. But yeah, I feel like I have a personal view on HMOs because HMOs is...
Do you think it's changed? It's definitely
changed. And I feel like people tell you to invest in HMOs, but don't tell you what that looks like. And especially if it's not your own property, you don't own the property. I'm a little bit more cautious now of taking on rent to HMOs because of what it is looked like for us. Just for kind of context, we've got 3 HMO properties that we run at the moment. And we were actually looking to take on 2 more from... it was like word of mouth that another landlord had found us and wants us to take on 2 more of the properties. But I'm skeptical. Essentially, here's why. We had an incident recently so we have a 6-bed, right? And in that 6-bed, we have rented out to the council or council tenants that are using DSS because, you know, it's personally something that...
Cue the racist, by the way, because... Normally when you say council tenants, you normally get like, you rustle the feathers of the racists and they come out to play because they're like, oh, well, in this country, they're taking our houses and you shouldn't work with the council to place anyone like people just automatically assume that they're not from the UK where like half of them are from the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Half, to be honest.
More than half, yeah.
4.
But so I just had to put that out there. I just don't get, like, we got a lot of racial hate on social media talking about this, and I just didn't understand. Again, you can never understand it being racist, but it's just like sometimes you just think to yourself, it's actually laughable. It's comic. It's comedy still. But sorry, carry on. We went out to the council tenants because it was something personal for us in terms of like experiences of, you know, understanding homelessness and things like that. So we were like, okay, do you know what? We're definitely gonna do this and work with the council on this and provide more opportunities for council tenants to have places they can be like call home. So we have a 6-bed where we filled that 6-bed with all males in the property. There's so many, I can give you so many stories of HMOs, but I'll start with this one. And just this week, mate, I've had some weird situations. I've had encounters with the police like 3 or 4 times in the last literal like 2 weeks. It's actually wild. It's been crazy. I don't know what's been happening. Side note, Sean was actually fuming with me because I got into a situation where a man was literally... I was even gonna let's even do a story time and we're gonna take them through because
it all connects. You know, like when you watch those films, where like 4 different people are passing each other in the street, or like they've gotten into a car crash, they didn't know each other, but all their stories
intertwine.
This is basically what's been happening to us over the last few weeks.
And I feel like, again, obviously you have to what's it? It's not side note. Trigger warning.
Yes.
Because this is it's a very touchy subject, right?
Sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. That's why you're here to just, police my political correctness. So we have a tenant in one of our HMOs, right, who has been causing issues, I think, not directly to us.
Are we talking about room 5?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no, not even that. I'm talking room 6.
Okay, I swapped them round.
It's got the number on the door.
Sorry,
Yeah, so this one has been causing us issues in terms of, we suspect that they were dealing like drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was literal CCTV evidence.
Okay, all right, cool. But sometimes the CCTV, anyway. So we were having issues, and they have a partner who comes to stay with them in the property. Now, we've said to them many times that this partner
The partner wasn't come to stay. She lived there.
Yeah, but
you can't live there. You're not.
We've told him like literally the partner has to go because they can't.
They can stay certain days because there's like certain amount of days you can stay.
Have visitors.
For visitors' sake. She can't live there, but he continued to let her stay. Whatever.
Yeah. But fast forward, then we had a situation where this person, his partner, had called us in the morning. And we thought to ourselves, like, are you that bright that you want to be able to call the property management company of the place that you're not actually supposed to be staying at?
Yeah.
So she called us and said, something's happened, and this person had like a seizure, and then went to hospital, ended up going into a coma, right? So we're like, oh, all right, cool. Like, obviously it's very sad what happened, but we're not too sure what's going on. We realized that they were still staying there because one of the other tenants was saying, well, you know what, like this person's partner is still going in and out of the property and using the room and all that. So we've gone there, and we had CCTV set up in the communal areas of the HMO, but we hadn't connected them yet because they were newly set up. So we went there, and I know that these tenants have probably gone around and seen these cameras, but there was no indication that they were on. So I don't know if they ever expected them to kind of be on. But when I switched them on, we were then able to see some stuff. So then there was one time where we found out that the person who had gone into a coma, can't remember how long they were gone for.
Like maybe a week.
Was it a week? Yeah. Okay, so they ended up coming back home. Home.
Before they came back home, when Sean went to
the
partner was in the house, and so Sean was like, "You've got to go. Like, you literally cannot be here.
You cannot stay."
To give the keys, saying she doesn't know where the keys are, whatever. So we ended up walking with her, waiting for the police to arrive because essentially she's intruded somewhere. She has.
Before she said no, she's not giving me the key, but then she said to you after, I don't know where the keys.
Have the keys. She obviously had the keys. Didn't want to give the keys up. Don't know where she swallowed it, put it in her panty. I don't know, but she did something with it, hid it, whatever. So as we're waiting for the police now to arrive, she continues walking, doing all of this. By the way, just to make sure as well that we're aware, there was heavy drug use between these two people, right? We saw paraphernalia, like heavy drug use. So the thing that I'm thinking about is likely the drug
bong,
we're talking about. So all of those kind of things were happening. Anyway, as we're waiting for the police to come, the police, I don't know what, Thames Valley Police, first of all, because I have to call you out because we think Met is bad, yeah? Thames Valley Police, every time I've worked with them, both personally and professionally, they've been exceptionally terrible. Terrible. You guys actually have to work on that because I'm shocked that there isn't more people dying in your area. Because of your lack of responsiveness. But anyways, as you can imagine, police weren't coming, right?
They were on the phone telling me, like, because I was reporting it, and when they ask you questions, is it like, where is she now? As if like to say, yeah, police are on their way.
No, they're never coming. And
I just thought,
we were following her, whatever. As I'm following her, Sean goes back to the property to do whatever.
Because she's leading us away from the property, and away from the car, and I was like,
no destination. She's just walking. Anyways, as she's walking, I am then privy to another situation that's going on. In that moment, I had to make a split decision whether to continue to walk with this girl or to deal with the situation that I'd just come across, right? So this is steering away from HMOs, but this is how negative HMOs can be, that it brings so much negativity.
No, but it kind of ties it ties in.
To it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But so as I'm like walking with this non-tenant, I see a van swerve into a road, and as I see the van swerve into a road, I look and see what I think is like play fighting or two, because the blows were so hard that it could only be two men. To me, like the blow that I can see, and I'm, by the way, disclaimer, I can't see anything. I wear glasses, right? So I'm squinting, and I'm like, I can see a male distinct. This person in front of me is definitely a man, but the other person has sort of, the way they're fighting, they kind of got their back to me, or side to me, so I can't fully see them. I can't fully see what it is, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but the blows that the person that I can see is definitely a man. It's going hard. So I'm thinking, you know, when you're play fighting with your sibling, like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's your sibling and you're going.
They can handle it, like, yeah.
I thought that's what was going on. Like, the blows were going they were so exaggerated. I thought it was two men. Then there's like a split second where the other person shows their face because they're trying to block the thing.
Yeah.
As they're
block the punches and strikes, innit?
As they're doing that, I realized, crap, that's a female, and that's why that person is swerved in. They're fighting in the van.
Yeah.
Right, as he's driving. So he's pulled up, he's like stop the van.
Yeah,
but you know when it's like not a planned stop, he stopped because he wants to continue to beat the shit out.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. He stopped the van to continue to beat her up.
That's mad.
And he so much so wants to get, I think from what I could see, and obviously my social work senses are going off, I think he's trying to get her out of the van. She don't want to go for whatever reason, whether it's her stuff's in there. I can see she's not trying to get out because he lifts his leg up. Imagine lifting your leg up in the driver's seat to spin and use both feet to kick like a donkey the other person.
Yeah.
Kicking her towards the door. So he's trying to get her out. Regardless, again, this is not to say that he was doing the right thing. I'm just saying what I was watching. He's trying to get her out of the van for whatever reason. I don't know if they just beefed or whatever. And she's not wanting to go. The kick was so hard and heavy that she opens the door because he's ramming her into the door.
Yeah.
Mate, she comes out and like literally halfway body out of the van. He comes out of the van, drags her.
Yeah.
So in that moment, by the time that I'm dealing with this and looking at this, the other girl's gone, man.
Yeah. She took that opportunity.
She said, mate, it's either them or me. At that moment in time, that woman was going to die. Like, there's no other way to put it. She was going to die. This guy was not going to stop until he harmed her significantly, right? So everyone's scared. The neighbors are watching because she's right in front of two houses, right? The neighbors are watching, but the way this guy is beating the crap out of her, as a female, you're going to be scared. What did I do? Because I've got no senses. I went there. I said, please, begging over her, I will take her from you. Whatever she did, you're right. I'm going to take her from you. Because my only thing is to calm the situation down.
So you put, we're
not going to rehash that.
No.
But the fact of the matter is, if I didn't go there, he had a saw, mate. And he lifted the saw. We made eyes. Our eyes... In the jokes with me and my friends, our eyes made four. If you don't know what that means, is both our sets of eyes connected.
Yeah.
And the only thing I think that stopped him was my shock in face of like, you're not going to, right?
Yeah.
You're not. That was my eyes just kind of went, what? You're not going to pick up the saw and use the saw. She's telling you she's pregnant. You're thumping her. Like, You're doing body shots. When I saw her, she has scratches behind her neck. And it's like all of this was happening. There was no structure to what's happening. But yeah, that was the first instance essentially of dealing with the police. I was chasing a non-tenant tenant.
Yeah.
Then had this situation to deal with.
I'm not even going to lie. Sorry, even just going back quickly because you recalling it just put my mind back there. That I just think to myself, what was you thinking?
My hands were shaking.
What was that? What was you thinking?
And the thing is, she kept, mate, while I'm trying to diffuse, because when someone with ego like that, you've got to tell them they're right.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah.
You got to tell them. I was making it seem like she was the burden. I had to make it seem like she was the problem. I was like, no, you're right. Whatever she's done, you're absolutely right. We're going to go. I'm going to take her from you.
Yeah.
And I kept begging. Because I realized that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Putting myself over her to protect her.
I'm not going to lie.
By the way, don't bother doing that because when I try to get the names,
listen,
I'm not giving my man. I'm not giving my man.
So this is what I'm saying. And this is my thing, right? Because this is why I was so pissed because I went back to go and get the car. I went back to go and get the car, But I was like, you know what? So we don't have to come back here. Let me just connect the last camera, and move whatever last minute thing that we needed to do. I then get a call from you basically so panicked. And I thought to myself, well, hold on, what just happened? Because I just left you to just follow her. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, what would have happened now if I got the car and just come straight back?
I'm glad you didn't.
And
because
honestly,
it would have been a threat. I'm so glad I was a female.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be anybody else,
Yeah.
but I'm so glad it was a female situation because.
Yes. No, I'm just if I come and I just see that, I just would have seen one picture there that he's attacking you.
No,
and then that would have been it.
He was aware of me.
But this is what I'm saying. Someone like that, you might buck up on someone else who's not aware of anything.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
But it was social work quick assessment.
Yeah.
If this guy was waving the saw in the air, it would have just been a 999 call.
Yeah.
But I could see she was on the floor. He's going like kicking. He's going for her, and he's going for her legs. He's going for the back of her neck. He's like punching her. And the blows that I saw at the start, which is what confused me, were grown man blows. Like, I thought it was two men in the car. The way he was going for her, I thought it was two men. When I saw it as a female, I was in shock. I thought, what? And the thing is, she kept going because, like, whilst I'm trying to protect her, she's flipping saying,
"Oh yeah."
Like, shout! I couldn't even hear Sean. If you asked me to recount the conversation between them two,
she was just saying stuff to kind of rile him up, innit?
Yeah, but I couldn't hear. But essentially, because I've got to be honest about what I saw. She was saying things back to him. So when he was trying to go back into the car, because I've calmed down, not even calmed it down, I've just
diffused it. Yeah.
I could. He comes back round because she said, I couldn't hear what she said, mate, because I was in shock. I couldn't recount what she said because but I know she said something. And then he would come back and then try to harm her again.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was thinking, mate, don't you see an innocent bystander trying to protect you here?
Yeah.
Like,
and she don't mind putting you in the firing line like that.
Straight after, give me back my phone, give me back my stuff. She tried to shake his. Listen, so much happened. But anyways, I'll leave that story. But that happened. That was the first encounter second encounter with the police, because we called the police for this woman. Nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Called the police for the second one. Also, call handlers for police and ambulance, you guys need training. The guy was shouting at me on the phone. I'm obviously in state of panic. When I say panic, I've never experienced that level of violence before. Right? Within the community.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So it's like I was in shock when I was on the phone. So when I'm explaining things, I'm just barking what I think is going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Like, this is the road name. Oh, she's been beat up. She's got scratches on her. It's not piecing together, which I understand could be frustrating, but I'm still giving you information that's valuable.
Yeah.
My guy said, do you want to calm down?
It's mad, because it's like you're in a profession.
This happens daily, mind you. Like,
You're in a profession.
I get daily when I'm social working at my door. You should know what you're getting daily when I'm in a state of literal panic. Even when the police came 20 minutes later, I'm still shaking. I'm in a state of panic. I just thought it could have been better. And I had to tell him on the phone, you do know I've just experienced a situation that you don't have to handle. I've just had to deal with. And I had to tell him about himself. Then that's when he checked himself, because it's like, you can't speak to people like that. But anyway, that was the second time we experienced the police. But anyway, this guy was now off in a coma somewhere.
Going back to the tenant.
Yeah, going back to the
tenant.
He was in a coma at this point, somewhere in some hospital.
Yeah.
And sis comes back again, like trying to open the door. But by this time we changed the locks, right? Not to get him out, but because there was another situation where another tenant in the property he'd left, still had his keys, refusing to return his keys. I felt he could enter, come and cook, come and use things, and then leave. No, mate, you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
So we changed the locks because obviously the property was no longer safe, because there's other people who have access to the property that shouldn't have access to the property. So front door locks were changed, not the guy's bedroom door locks. We had spare keys in the lockbox waiting for him for when he came out of hospitals, for him to have the keys, right? Whatever. So she comes back, she starts effing and blinding, telling me that she's pregnant and that I'm going to get what's coming to me. In fact, I'm going to die. Like, I wish death upon you, which I rebuked in the name of Jesus, because that's just really not going to happen. But yeah, anyway, she was doing all that. She then came back the next day and was like, she was just really hormonal the last few days. She really apologizes. She's not going to stay there. We're not going to have problems with her anymore, blah, blah, blah. She didn't need the keys. She didn't need her stuff, whatever she had come back with. Then the guy then comes back, right? And he's come out of hospital a couple days after we see her. So we've seen her on the Monday. He's back on the Wednesday. And literally that same very day that he's come out of hospital.
That same night, so around 11 p.m, we didn't see this until the morning, by the way. Yeah, we didn't see this until the morning, by the way.
Coma.
So I had a look at because obviously we've got on the Ring doorbells inside and everything, the interior. We had a look at it, and we see in the living room this guy was kicking up his partner. Like literally, when I talk, like she was shaking. Like, you know, when someone has been.
This is not the first.
This is not the first time. So she's kind of put herself in a position where she knows that she can kind of. She's begging for her life, but then kind of like shielding herself at the same time.
So she wouldn't go upstairs.
She wouldn't go.
Because she knew if she went upstairs, she was very clever, and I feel like that's essentially what alerted us, right? Although we didn't see the cameras, we were asleep at the time, so we didn't see the cameras for the next day. But she did not go to that bedroom straight away because she knew if she went up there while he was still at his temperament, she was gonna get the beating of her life, right?
We obviously don't know what she did.
No.
But then obviously
it's not even about what she did.
No. Of course.
Come out.
No, of course. No. What I mean by that is that. What I mean by that is because obviously when we went back, and then we started to kind of trail through the cameras, like from the front door and everything, it started from there. So I don't know if he was like he was pissed at something that she did out there.
Arrived, he was already annoyed at something.
So he kicked her into the house.
Yeah. Lifted it. This guy just came out of a coma.
Yeah. And we've been seeing him.
With a wobbly leg. Like
we've been seeing him move.
Stable. He's not stable. He's grunting because he's still in pain, or maybe on drugs. I can't work out.
It's one or the other.
He's grunting. He's in pain, right? He managed to hop off one leg and try to spin her, like kick her into the house. She comes in, and like Sean says, she's like protecting herself in the living room, saying like, please, like, you know, trying to beg him. He's saying, get upstairs now. He kicks her twice, 2 body shots.
Yeah, two body shots. He was acting as it. Yeah. And then obviously eventually, like obviously he's there chatting his rubbish. She got up. And like, you know, when you kind of walk round so that you know where you're going, but you still got distance and you got eyes on whoever you're looking at.
Yeah.
She started to go up the stairs, and then he like kicked her as she went on the stairs, and you heard ow.
Yeah.
And then so then they've ended up going upstairs. Even then we got another camera upstairs, and we could just see that there was a point where I know that she kind of looked up at the camera, hoping that it was, because I think at this point, because we had connected the cameras, obviously you got a blue light when it probably shows that it's being recorded or something like that. So she's probably looked up, but she hasn't made it made him aware that, you know, the cameras, or that she's looking at the cameras or trying to signal to the cameras.
They're the day that Sean was connecting the cameras. So she may have known that the cameras are now working. But according to him, the cameras weren't live before he left, and he probably didn't think it was working when he came back. He questions her and is like, why are you looking at the cameras? But essentially, we've had to call the police on that situation as well.
So now when we've woken up and then seen now, straight away we've called the police. Was it 101 or 999?
No, we called
999. Sorry, I never know which one. So you called 999, told them about the situation. Did they turn up?
No, they never turned up, mate.
Did they turn up? You said that she was pregnant. You said what was going on. You said we've got footage of everything.
He had concerns of drug use.
Yeah.
And he might not be in the right headspace. Like.
And he's known to the police as well.
Yeah,
we said all of this.
Other situation going.
Yeah. He's got problems.
Yeah,
he's got problems.
But essentially, I guess what we're trying to say is that not that there's something wrong with HMOs, right? But there's so much more to learn about HMOs. And like our expertise is definitely around service accommodation.
Yeah.
We've learned so much about HMOs and the types of clientele to put in our HMOs. However, I think people sell this, give it to social housing.
Yeah.
Do this in social housing. You'll get the But actually, a part of that is not the people, but the culture that comes with giving your property to social housing. Because essentially, I come from a council flat. I wouldn't go to people's houses, start destroying it or smoking crack cocaine down the side of the road.
Yeah.
I have to bleep this out. But, you know, I wouldn't start smoking illegal drugs, like, and, you know, up in the corner and like,
go down the road and start stealing from the shops and stuff like
stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do that. So it's not about someone being known to the council and needing support from the council that is the issue. It's also not understanding the council, not being aware of the people that they're putting in, or being aware and not offering the right support for those people, and then being landed with providers like ourselves where we can't support.
Yeah,
They're just lucky I'm a social worker.
Yeah.
There's another person in one of our HMOs who requires so much support. Like, they're not even supposed to be there. They require so much support. They are so lucky that I know how to work with people, because if not, these lot would have stabbed each other a long time.
Yeah, 100%. And they were always going back, because like police has been called on them
so many times
to the point where I think they go there just like, listen, you lot stop it, go to your rooms, and that's it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think especially what you're talking about with HMOs, right? It's not so much like, again, we always compare it to SAs.
Yeah.
With SAs, it's like, you know, people come and go. You're not burdened by their lifestyle or any personal issues or whatever. Even if it's the most horrific and temperamental person came to your SA, you got to just deal with them for a number of days and then they're gone.
Yeah.
With HMOs, you're not just managing the property, but you're managing that person's lifestyle. You're getting involved in the personal stuff. There's one person that you know has like certain additional needs, and again, as you said, like, you're lucky that you're a social worker and you dealt with this type of stuff before, that you know how to handle him and put him at ease. Other than that, it's like for me, if that was me, and I obviously I'm not well versed in like that in that like you are, but for me, I would have just been like, listen, I'm sorry, but I don't even like, I'm not going to help you in this situation. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be so forgiving. But again, it's like, for me, it's like, you know, looking at all of our tenants, each one of them, you have to be involved in their lives in some way, shape or form. And that's not even always in a negative way. Don't get me wrong. Like, especially one of our HMOs, everyone in there, the majority, perfect. Do you know what I mean? But no one's negative in there. There are things that you have to handle.
Fair. Like, even when they've been behind on rent, like, we've had a system, like, things have been, like, there's been payment plans. They're a strong HMO. Like, they're really good. Like,
but this is what you have to do. Like, but this is, again, when it gets to managing people's lifestyles. If they get let go of a job, now you have to work out, okay, how's that going to work? Do you know what I mean? So
even down to the other HMO, we have an unlicensed one because it's not.
It's out of Article 4. Is that when you?
It's out of Article 4.
Yeah.
It's not 5 or more, which is what is requested for 5 or more people, households, which is what requested for that particular borough. But even in that, like, how they keep the house is so disgusting. Like, these people are killing pigeons to eat. It's so gross. And the sad thing is, the council don't work with these kind of people to say, hey, now you're taking on a tenancy in your name. These are the requirements. These are your responsibilities. And you're having to do that as a manager. You're having literally to manage people as a manager, which essentially people don't speak about with HMOs. And yes, I know there's other routes where you could be completely hands off because the council take over, or you could have emergency accommodation placements where I work with that side of things. But even still, when there's damage in your property, the council don't care and won't be paying that, you know? So there's so many things that people don't talk about. People feel like when you have a tenant, it's easy money. The only kind of risk that you have is people not paying rent. Mate, I'd rather a non-paying tenant than, because it's actually easier to remove a non-paying tenant than it is to have a tenant who's just a nuisance.
100%.
You have to get an ASBO in order to be able to really get them out. Like,
they prefer Section 8s, or the courts want you to, or they act faster on Section 8s now.
If you have rent arrears.
If you have
arrears of more than 2 months, it's much easier to get you out. But if you can't evidence that they've got arrears, like, we had a tenant who had no arrears but was an absolute nuisance, and like was the worst kind of tenant that you could imagine, like just like can't even want to go into it, right? But that was much harder to get that person out. Actually, they luckily left, but that would have been much harder. They would have had to been on a Section 21, which can be months waiting for somebody who is trying to intimidate you, bully you out of, you know, being telling you how to run your house, or run the system that you've got in place. Like, not being clean, not being tidy, being manipulative, damaging things on purpose. Like, you know, all of those things can take place, and people don't explain to you how difficult it can be to run a HMO if you don't have the understanding. From all our experiences, we've got so much learning. That's never to say that we won't take on HMOs moving forward, but we're going to be so particular about the type of HMOs, how many people are in those HMOs, who we're renting out to, why we're renting out to them, reference checks, all those kind of things in place that are going to be probably too much because of what we've gone through. But I'd rather it be too much than too little now.
But this is it. And 100%. I feel like, again, you know, like, you know what you're saying about with service accommodation, that, you know, people come and go or whatever. But even still, you have, when you have a non-paying tenant as well, having to dip even further into your pocket to have to pay for the whole setup for the eviction process as well. I was going to ask you a question that probably a lot of people watching this will probably kind of ask as well. Obviously, you've spoken about council tenants or working with the council to place tenants as well. Could that not just be avoided by going through or getting working professionals in?
Yeah, it depends on the location or area. So our areas that we found would work, but would work with working with the council. So it might not draw in working professionals. It might not draw in students. We definitely have one of those where majority are working professionals. And, you know, that's
And
worked really well. And actually that's the one but we also have council tenants in that one.
Yeah.
And that still worked really, really well.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the council tenants has never been late on rent, never caused any issues. Early on we had teething issues.
Never caused any housing issues.
Housing issues. And actually is probably one of our best tenants at the moment. Yes, you can essentially find a place where you have, you know, working professionals, but it's not just that. It's about the culture that environment brings, the area. What kind of demand, what types of people does it bring to that area? Who are you targeting? Who are you marketing at in order to move into these properties that you have? So there's lots of learning around that. But again, we just thought to keep another real perspective of, you know, working with tenants and what that might look like when you are running HMOs, because it's not all collect rent and, you know, get someone's social media. Put £2,000 down for this house for your rent to HMO and make £600 every month of profit. Mate,
it's not that easy. Essays, you know, I'm just tired, man. Like, you know, like essays, it's like, you know, there's pros and cons to it. HMOs, there's pros and cons to it. One isn't necessarily more easier than the other. Because, you know, it's harder to get rid of a tenant, whereas a guest, it's like, straight, you don't pay, you go. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm a fan of essays.
You're a fan of essays. I think I don't mind. I'm more to essays. I think I've always kind of been more to essays. HMOs, I can see the benefits, but also the negatives. I'm just like,
do they outweigh?
Do they outweigh? Do you know what I mean?
But it's all down to you in the area and making sure that you go to somebody who has the expertise and the level of understanding around HMOs and the guidance. Now, we've made all the mistakes that we will not be making again, so that has given us more knowledge and more foundation. But essentially, if you're looking to go into HMOs, make sure you find somebody who's an expert in it. Make sure you're asking the questions that nobody ever asked. Don't just ask the questions that you see on social media, and don't just be fascinated about the continuous income, because that's not always the case with properties, with HMO properties as well. So make sure that you get curious with the types of questions, information that you're trying to seek out. And if it's for you, tell us why. And if you've also had a bad experience, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear, be able to relate, so that it's not just us.
100%.
Hopefully this helps someone, but we'll catch you in the next episode.
Thank you for watching to the end, guys. We really appreciate it. As a little thank you gift to you, we'd like to give you an invite to join our free WhatsApp community where we drop a lot of gems.
If you're still watching, then thank you so much. But more importantly, if you could like and subscribe to this channel to help us bring you more content that we know you'll just love.